June the 7th, 2012. My name is Aries. I'm coming to you live and direct from the DMV. Did you listen to the lyrics in that song? Hey, that's
they too deep.
It's deep. It's deep. Just in case you guys don't know me, as I said, my name is Aries. This is my radio show. It's Real Talk with Aries. This radio show, if you did not listen to us in the past, like I said, it's been a 2-year hiatus. We talk about everything from love, relationships, home, finances, work, religion, sex, business development, write
Sex.
books. You said sex. But we're going to cover all the topics. We're going to try to do it in a tasteful manner, but hey, sometimes things can get, off the chain, and if that's how it goes and that's where a radio show goes, that's where we'll be. So I would like to first introduce my special co-host, Yonder. Yonder, would you like to take a moment to introduce yourself and give us...
Well, my name is Yonder. I'm the author of the Taboo series. I have book 1, 2, 3, 4 just hit the streets on Friday of last week. And you can get them off my website, www.whatidoistaboo.com.
All righty now. Do you want to give a little history, a radio history, with yourself? Do you have I know you have past experience, but our listeners,
I've been on different radio stations. I've had my own station I am radio for DC for 2 years, 50,000 listeners. We started on a Tuesday. Within by that Saturday, we had a 4-hour show, and we were on for 2 years. I took a hiatus for a while. I guest starred on numerous other shows. So I've been around for a minute, but I've taken a break along with Aries, and we're back and ready to do it in the big way.
Yes, and if you want to talk to me or Yonder, or if you have an opinion about tonight's show, this episode or segment is titled Stalking. It's just stalking. Are you a stalker? Do you have stalker tendencies? Have you ever been stalked? We're going to try to hit all of it tonight. When I say all of it, we're going to try to hit all of it to try to find out what is it that causes these people to stalk. Are you doing things that you don't realize that put you in the category of being a stalker? So we also have another special guest, Miss Viola P. Miss Viola, would you like to introduce yourself, or any words that you would like to say to our listeners out there?
I just want to say hello, and I'm on the show just to share my experience with you guys.
Okay. For you guys that want to call in, our dial-in number is 347-838-9038. Again, that is 347-838-9048. Okay, let's get to it. Stalking. What is stalking? To me, it's having something that you can't have, something that wasn't meant for you, whether it be a person. Well, of course, stalking is you're stalking a person, but there are several ways that people are actually going about this. Social media, has that made it easier for people to stalk? It circles around these psychological behaviors, and sometimes people fall into these categories and don't even realize, that they're there. It was classified back in 2000 that there are actually different types of stalkers. You have those that stalk people over, in regards to maybe it was a relationship that went bad. You have these child predators that stalk children. There are all types of things. Yonder, have you ever ran into any stalkers, or have you ever been stalked before?
I've ran into stalkers, and I've been a stalker at one time. Everywhere, when you have, let me go back and years ago, when you first fall in love, that's your first experience of being a stalker, because you get something that you can't have anymore, and it wasn't called stalking back in my day. It was just called, as old folks say, tree boxing.
Tree boxing, I never heard of that. You're right, that is an old thing.
Tree boxing is basically, the old folks say tree boxing, they had big trees back in the day. You would hide behind a tree trying to see what they doing, who they with, and all that good stuff. So I've been one myself.
I would have called that hide and seek. I don't know about you. But, okay, so that would actually fall into the rejected stalkers category. You're pursuing in order to reverse or correct that bad relationship that had went wrong. And then there's also like the resentful or the vindictive stalker, that grieves or feels like their victim is in danger or whatever, so they feel they need to have the watchful eye and always look out for that person. And then we have the intimacy seekers. Those are the people that feel that they're in a love and a relationship. Things just aren't working out, so they'll text the person, call the person. What I'm saying is you got to get over it. Viola, do you want to tell us about your experiences?
I have had quite a few experiences. One which lasted about...
Wait. You said just a few. What are you doing? And I'm taking it to all men that are stalking you?
Yes, it is all males that are stalking me. Not even males I had relationships with, males that I have had just one encounter with. And
just one encounter, so it's...
Ho. You saying you had one encounter with, so, did you flash them or you gave them something?
I didn't do... No.
They can't get over what?
You just walked past. It was just your presence that was like, I got to have that.
I was told he wanted to be a moth to a flame to me, yes. And every day for 3 weeks, this man approached me, would not leave me alone, followed me into my workplace. And luckily, I worked in a building that had security, so he couldn't get past without his ID.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Did you know this person?
No, I went to Cozy's at lunch one day, and he was behind me in line and said, I love the way you move, and may I pay for your meal? And I said, sure. And after that, I guess he spent his $7. He thought he was supposed to get more. I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, hold on. I'm lost. Okay. What did you look like that day? What did you smell like that day? Was you naked? I'm not saying that you're not stalkable. Don't get me wrong. But
like that day?
You said this devil came behind you.
So you never gave
cozy.
him the eye. You never gave him the come on eye, like, that you were interested. You never gave him any type of... you never showed any type of interest in this person.
I'm very straightforward with males about what I want, what I'm looking for in our encounter. Just last week, Memorial Day, at a pool party, a guy would not leave me alone, and I sat him down and was like, what would you want from me? What do you want from me? And he was just like, it's just the way you move. And, I explained to him there would be nothing more than this conversation we're having. And it's so hilarious. My girlfriends were out last Friday, and, of course, he was there, and they were like, he was looking for you. And it's just one of those things I think is funny. Not saying he's a stalker, but I don't know. I get told all the time I have a very powerful walk, and it's, it's something that males are taken to.
Whoa, so that would actually fall into that intimacy seeker where they just, had to, and there are some people where they just have to have that thing or that person that they can't have. You have to keep it moving on, but what I don't think they're realizing is you being the victim in these cases, they're actually making it uncomfortable for you to go on living your day-to-day activities because you're looking over your shoulder. You're wondering if that person is going to be there at an unexpected time, where you may feel that you may have to carry a weapon, you may have to, change your life around. Like you said, this person came into your place of work, your business after you. You're changing your whole surroundings based on this one person's fixation on you, and which is not right. Yonda, what do you have to say about that? Because this is kind of a poor subject.
From a male's perspective, like I said, I've been there, but it was my stalking issue myself personally is because I had intimate contact with a person. I haven't known anyone, but I understand what you're saying, because being in the author world now, it's just like somebody would read something of mine, and then they go to that place, and I'm like, you don't know me like that, so I've had them on this side as an author, but that's what I'm just dumbfounded with. How do you walk, young lady?
I have no clue how I walk. It is my walk. I don't do anything different. I'm told I do it even in the house when I'm walking around barefooted. It's just the way that I walk. My friend now, he it's hilarious. He does. He sits in the bed sometimes and just watch me, and I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm just watching the way you move, and he just says he really loves and adores it.
That song, Yonder, I think that song was written for her. Like the
but you're right. On that song, it say, on the he'll stay outside your door. He said she sat in a rain shower one time. I mean, and she said she wanted if you even noticed.
And I did have someone sit in the rain. My ex sat in the rain, and when I came home, he was outside in the rain, hiding in the bushes, and that was horrible. That was the worst stalking case that lasted 6 months, and restraining orders and everything else had to come into play.
Yeah, the words to Michelle Ndegeocello's, I always mess up her last name when I say this, but she's actually said, here she is waiting for this person, anticipating a chance to run into him. I mean, this had to come from a deep place within her as well. See, me saying that we may have stalker tendencies, I'm not looking into it at this depth, because I would think this person, if they saw this person doing something wrong or speaking to someone that, they feel they shouldn't be speaking to, they could possibly cause harm to this person. And this is, really disturbing. I did my research, as you guys that followed the shows before, I always do my research. And just here recently, we have some states that actually have passed. In Huntsville, Alabama, Governor Robert Bentley just signed off the Tracy's Law. And this was based around a young lady who was a nurse who had been stalked for 2 years. And see, the thing with stalking is it is illegal, but it's kind of hard to prove, so there's really nothing you can do about it. This young lady was stalked for 2 years. She had actually called, the police stations and everything, trying to get help, and actually this person ended up killing her. So they just recently passed a law in Alabama with this. And now, I don't know if you guys are realizing this, but what I'm seeing, the new cycle of stalking, we all have them on our phones, it's cyber stalking.
Facebook, Facebook
is like one of the biggest tools for stalkers, and we have people that are checking into places. You do the check-in function or whatever. This makes people, they can find you. I mean, they can find your exact location, your home. We have Google Earth, where there are pictures that can give a person, if they have your name,
your exact address to your house,
everything.
They can tell you what cars in front of your house. It's so crazy, yeah.
Exactly. So it's people that have these psychological issues, but it's also social media and all of this other technology that's making it easier, for this thing to happen. So, I mean, we really got to get it together. My thing is, when we talk about the relationship aspect of it, is you have to get over it. I mean, why go after a person that does not want you? You have to first be happy and love yourself. I mean, if you can't do that, what good is there? And find someone to talk to. I mean, everyone has someone that cares for them, whether it be a family member, pastor, social groups, or whatever. Find someone to talk to, because what you're doing is disrupting someone else's life. You got to keep it going. Find something to do. And I have another recommendation. I mean, seriously, this is what you do. Go get nice women, go get your nails done, your hair done, get that makeup on. Fellas, go get your clean cut, get that face right. Come home, take a shower, get fresh, clean, and pristine. Get out the shower. I want you to go to your door, put a blindfold on, and walk out naked. And then watch your ass get stalked, and let's see how you like it. I mean, it's like you got to...
Eric, that's all well and good for you to say that, but come on, everybody has people won't admit to it, but we stalk something that we've been intimate with.
But you have to find an outlet to get over that. I mean, the person doesn't want you. If they cared for you and truly wanted to be with you, then they would be you. There wouldn't be no issue of, having to stalk or whatever. Because why are you chasing something that doesn't want you? I mean, I realize it. We've all been through it. I admit I've been through it. But it has to come a time where you have to realize it may be a day. It may be 10 days. It may be 15 days, a month, or whatever. But you have to.
It might be. So Aries, well, it sounds like you're talking from personal experience. What's the longest you stalked?
I'm not gonna say stalked. I don't. I've never rolled up on a person. You don't
do drive-bys, but you do stalking.
I don't. No, I don't stalk. I've never stalked a person.
Mm.
No, I've never.
You just stay too close to them. What you do? What would you call it?
I probably blowed up a person, and that's probably the start of stalking or whatever. You blow it. Because sometimes you want answers or whatever, and I guess that would fall into like that relationship category or whatever. But you have to get over that and move on. Find another outlet. Get into business. Get into whatever your passion is. Your passion can't be that person. Even if you were in a relationship with that person or you want to be in a relationship with that person, you can't make that your priority. You have to you have to be happy and whole within yourself before you.
And I think that's the problem with people that are stalkers, honestly. Speaking from experience, I will say that the one thing my ex, the one I had to get the restraining order on, kept saying was, you complete me, you complete me.
No.
And I'm like, I can't completely complete you. You have to complete yourself. And that was like his thing. He was just like, we were the J&B. You broke that up. You broke up our little connection. Everyone talks about how good we were together and how wonderful we were. And I think that's people's problem is they don't love their self, and so they find someone that shows them attention, whether it is just a wink, a hug, or a passionate kiss, or somebody that just completely blow your mind sexually, and you just get hooked on that person, and you feel like you can't let them go.
And that is something. Callers, if you're listening online and you want to dial in and add to the conversation, please dial in. Our dial-in number is 347-838-9038. Again, this is Real Talk with Aries, and the phone number is 347-838-9038. We have Yonder on the phone with us today, and our special guest today is Viola P. We're talking about stalking. Are you a stalker? Have you ever been stalked? Do you have stalker tendencies? And Miss Viola just hit a point, which is, I think sex does have a whole lot to do with it, because in some of these cases, these people have gotten turned out in a way they've never been turned out before, and they really don't know how to handle it.
So with Aries, how would you handle it? I mean, because really, we've all been. That's what with me personally. Like I said, I can't speak for all men, but that's usually what it is. Someone has turned. When I say, and you say turn out as that's a lackadaisical term. No, when I say turn out, I'm talking about crime. That's how turned out she was, and then you want to get back to. It's like addiction.
But see, that's where when you talk about the sexual part of it, I can't say I've been turned out that far. Where I can't say I've been turned out where I'm going to go chase somebody. No, but I can see being in maybe a relationship or something where it just, like I said, it just went wrong or whatever. But for someone to physically turn you out sexually, I don't think that's possible. I mean, I've heard that it is, but like you said, make you cry. I can't imagine that. I can't. Callers, I see we have two callers on the line. I'm going to pick up, what is this, 202? Caller, you're on the line. Is there anything that you want to add to the conversation?
Well, I have a situation a little bit. It's a recent situation. So I just want to know how do I deal with it? So I was in a relationship with a guy for almost 3 years, but he decided that he wanted to leave for someone else, but he never told me, but he wasn't the one doing the stalking. It was the new girl that was doing the stalking. So what do I do now?
Okay, and see, that's the issue. That's a major issue right there, because it's like now you have to protect your ass because you got somebody after you over something that is her old. Let me first say this disclaimer. I should have played this in the beginning. We are not psychologists. We are not legal representatives. We are not.
I get that. I get that totally. I just wanted the opinion because for me, I just feel like I just want to call her up and be like, yo, for real, if you got something to say, just tell me.
You're at the point where you
but it's not going to be that easy.
He's older than, like the girl, she's older than me. Like I dated him while we were in high school, but we're in college now, so it's like whatever. But she's older than him. Like she's already graduated, but she's stalking me, and I'm trying to figure out why. Like the Twitter,
She's
Facebook,
stalking you because,
social network.
and that is because he don't want her. He wants you, or he's dealing with you, and she's trying to figure out why. She's trying to get that attention. She's trying to get that attention and trying to figure out, you. She's trying to get into your head, which it doesn't sound like she's in your head because it sounds like you really want to tap that ass, which I don't blame you. But she got to move on. But if push comes to shove, I have no issues with bringing law into. I mean, I have no issues at all. Bring the law, or there's also two people, Black and Smith and Wesson. Bring them into it because real baby.
But think about your life. Think about your life too. Aries.
Yes.
Look, I gotta give a disclaimer there too. Leave Black and Weston out of there. Get the law involved. I mean, because really, because evidently she really got some issues. He didn't put it on her, so I'm assuming he put it on you now. So,
okay, wait, I'm confused. From what I understand, this is a guy you're no longer with.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
you're no longer with him, but his new girlfriend is now stalking you.
Yeah, she's like,
she's just trying to make sure he's not messing with you. That's her own insecurities. She's not sure she has him, and that's why she's after you, because there is something that he is giving off to letting her know you're just something for me to do. My heart is really still with you.
Mhm.
And like you said, y'all are apart now. Y'all at a distance.
Yeah, so we went to school at different schools. So I'm in North Carolina, he's in West Virginia, and the girl's in West Virginia. But he lives in D.C. near me. Like, I can get on the bus and be at his house in like 5 minutes. Like, he's not that far from me. So I think that's probably her problem. Because
but
he's
you know
closer to me.
What I also want to add is he possibly throwing your name up in her face, which is causing even more issues with her, because men have a tendency to do that as well. You know, maybe she's not stroking him the way that Shanika stroked him. Maybe she's not doing what Tasha did. And with you being the last and her knowing of you, that probably could be an issue as well.
Well, I mean, if he is doing that, that's not my problem. I'm not the one in the relationship. He left me for her, so obviously, clearly I wasn't doing something right. Or maybe he just decided that somebody was giving it up while he was, or she was convenient at the time, so she was just like an easy target. But that's not my concern. I'm not with him anymore, but the fact that she's on my Facebook and...
Girl, I'm going to go back to what Ms. Viola just said, and that is like an issue that
she has with herself.
She has an insecurity within that, but with you, Smith & Wesson is not out the question, girlfriend. No, okay, we're going to move on to our next caller.
Hold on. Let me finish. I got a comment for that one thing right there. Evidently, she was doing something really good because she's still in his head, and evidently she's put her in his new girlfriend's head because she's so insecure and you're not even around. So evidently, you did something good. Even though it's over, you did something real good up in there.
So Yonda, Yonda, what was it? Was it the 1069? What you think she did? Was she throwing out?
You know what? Even she is a headologist. A headologist, or she got the good.
Or a rodeo queen. Maybe she's a rodeo
queen. She got the good or something, because he would not be if he has a new lady. She wouldn't even be on his mind if that situation was right, because, like I said, she bringing that back up each time. He's saying her name in that house some way, somehow. This just didn't coincidental.
He is probably rubbing it in or constantly bringing her name into the situation or the conversations, which is making this other crazy chick stalk the new one. We're going to move on to our next caller. Caller, you're on the line. Is there anything you wanted to add to this conversation? Caller? Okay, that person didn't want to speak to us. Again, this is Real Talk with Aries. I'm Aries. On the line, we have Yonda, who is our special guest, and Miss Viola P. Our dial-in number is 347-838-9038. Feel free to call in if you want to join the conversation. Yonder and Viola, that was some crazy stuff there. I just know how I would react. Of course, it would be that initial fear in a way, but these people have got to realize they got to move on. Now, that's a new situation right there. How you going to stalk the old girlfriend? She don't have
Because that's what females do now. That's what females do now. And the guy that my ex, I can say his girlfriend have stalked me to the point where I had to change my hairdresser. I no longer get my hair done at the same shop anymore.
Because she's trying to be you. It's an issue of she's trying to be you as well.
Right. She started to go to the same nail shop, the same hair shop, and I'm just like, wow, little girl, grow up. I don't want him. I'm like, I have texts in my phone from your man. I'm like, you need to figure out why he keeps driving down my street every night. If you're looking for him, I can tell you where he's at.
But I'm sure if he was doing that and she was on you like that, she was already aware of that. And what she may have been trying to do was trying to catch or maybe thought that you two were still in the act, and she may have been trying to, get in close with you or to get your moves down and see what your next actions were so that she could possibly catch them together. But if he was doing all that, I'm pretty sure she already knew. She's already probably gone through that phone or whatever. She knew. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure, like I said, she knew about me. I mean, when we were together, he was messing with her. And she knew about me, but I did not know about her. And the reasons, quote, unquote, why he told me he stepped out and went with her, not I wasn't doing my job in the bedroom, but I had too many goals. I put him on the back burner to go back and get my master's. I put him on the back burner to move up in my career, which I felt I was doing for us. Mm-hmm. And he was threatened by that. He was threatened by me, and in the end, his whole thing is, you're too strong of a woman. You don't let me be a man, which I know my mother taught me. No matter how much money you have, no matter how educated you are, never speak down to your man. If that's your man, make sure you always make him, be that man. And I know I do that. So for him to say that, I wasn't threatened by that. And I think that was his biggest issue with me, is that how can I walk away, from us 3 years being together? How can I walk away from that? How can I have nothing to say to him or nothing to do with him after all this time? Like, I try to be his friend, but he showed up at my house. Right, and I was saying, my cousin and them all have witnessed, acts with him, like to the point where they had to step in between us because he just would not let me go. He never violently hit me. Well, he slapped me in a parking lot one time, and that was the last straw, to the point where my cousin almost got arrested because he went after him, and that's when I was just like, it has to end, because I have too much to lose. My family has too much to lose. Everyone in my life has too much to lose over something dumb.
Miss Viola, okay, I have this question to you. Emotionally, I can hear, from your stories and, the pain on how it made you feel. But when your current relationship, because you said you're currently in a relationship now, correct?
Yes.
Did you discuss all of this with your current mate, and how did he deal with it? How does it affect you when you go out, when you're meeting and being introduced to new people?
My current mate, it has had a lot of toll on us, and but he knows there is nothing going on. He's very secure, but there has been times we have had arguments over that, to the point where I'm walking in the house, and I was walking the house with groceries. He was coming out to meet me, and he sees my ex in the middle of the street.
He sees your ex. He didn't run that fool over?
He's my ex is in the middle of the street in his truck yelling my name, and my current mate is coming out the house.
Let me interrupt you for a minute. I ask you, do you teach classes on what you do?
On my sexual abilities or on my walk? I've been told I need to give classes on how I walk. I have been told that.
Yonder, we need to have another class. Viola Pete being an instructor.
Yeah, we're gonna do that one on Skype. Okay. Well, I got a question for you, Viola. I'm looking at emails. Are you mad or are you just tired? Which one are you? Are you mad that this man is stalking you, or are you just tired of stalking?
I
Which one are you?
can say
you
that
sound
I have not heard from him since, since April. So it's been a couple of days.
Yeah, that's only been a couple of months.
So he's been stalking you for how long?
But before April, it was January. Before April, it was January. Before January, it was November. Last time he showed up at my house was on Thanksgiving night. He knew I was home because of Facebook, and he knew I was home. I had everyone's kids. I was cooking because we was feeding the homeless the next day, and I had everyone's kids over my house while they went out and partied, and I kept the kids because I was home cooking. So he knew I was home alone, so he showed up, and that was the last time I saw him, and he was like, "Can you make me some coffee?" I was just looking like, you are crazy.
I see the text for you, Miss Viola. Miss Viola, somebody said you got that booty crack.
And another thing I need to put out there, I say this all the time. People need to get off Facebook. Don't tell nobody what you're doing. We put too much of our personal business out there. Do what you do on Facebook when you want to, but stay out. We put too much of our business out on Facebook.
Exactly.
Everybody.
And that's going to lead up to like our conversation next week is actually computer love. That's going to be the title, and that's what we're going to hit on. You know, does modern technology and the computers make it easier to find a relationship, to maintain a relationship, or to break off a relationship? But Facebook, I'm telling you, that's like right now today one of the number one tools that a stalker has to track down his victim. I mean, they can track you. If you're checking in every step of the way with everything that you're doing, they can track from the time that you go home. Like we said, find the address to your home, to your job, to your kids. I mean, really, if they want to get to your kids. There was an incident, I believe, a year ago that was on the news where someone had simply taken a picture of their child at the daycare center. All they did was took a picture. They didn't check in. They took a picture and uploaded it to Facebook. What the stalker did was he went back into the decoding of the picture and actually found the address of where the picture was taken at the time because that person had used their phone. So, I mean, modern technology is good. It keeps us in the know, but it also can put us in harm's way, and we're not even aware of that. A young lady last night at a function that I was at was actually talking about how you could actually get a keychain and put a GPS on a person and they not even know. So I could give you a friendly gift of affection, say it's for your birthday or whatever, it's a keychain. If I was that real down dirty stalker, I could be at your home right now and you would never even know, never know. I mean, because we have the GPSs, we have all of this stuff, and it's kind of ridiculous in a way.
And call Viola P. I'm getting another email. They say, "Why did you open the door?" I'm just reporting what the folks are emailing. They say, "Why you open the door?"
I will say I did not open the door. My 16-year-old niece opened the door.
Okay.
I had over 15 children in my house at the time. Of course, I was trying to be calm, respectful, and not to bring drama in their life because they still look at him as they don't know what happened between him and I. And I'm not that person to throw anybody under the bus. Like he tried to stay in contact with me through his daughter, who I adore, but I had to cut contact off with because of this. And now his thing is he's trying to stay in contact with me between my mother. But, I mean, I can't stop other people from speaking to him. And, like my mother knows some of the things that have gone down, but she doesn't know all of them.
Well,
just because
of the issues and him showing up at your home, I'm sorry, I would be the first to let my family members know what's going on because you could be somewhere and God forbid something could happen and they not know. That would be probably the furthest person from their mind that they would think would do anything to you because they probably see him as this kind, loving person as like a good...
No, my sisters and cousins and all of them have seen him in action. They know. My mother. My mother doesn't know who...
This also leads me to another question, and this doesn't... it's not towards you, Viola, but in some of these situations, Yonder and Viola, would you say that some people actually like that they're being stalked and some of them get off on being it? Yeah,
I agree. I totally agree with you.
With that, and it's just all wrong. But we need to figure out a way to, stop this. People need to move on and realize that they're disrupting people's lives, and it's not worth it. I mean, you're gonna be put in, like, we have these states now passing laws. You're gonna be locked up for 10 years for chasing booty. No, it's not that serious. Boo boo, move on. It's not that serious at all.
But sadly, if you pull up statistics, which is sad about this, you pull up statistics. Of course, men are in jail for a whole lot of other crimes, but there are more, within the last 10 years, there have been more crimes against women than anything else going on.
But true, and I'm going to give you another statistic. Who do you think, percentage-wise, who stalks the most? A man or a woman? Who do you think are the biggest stalkers?
I think women.
I believe, and guess what? You're right. Women are.
I think women, yeah.
It's the thing with, when we talk about the relationship stalker, the person that stalks in regards to a relationship, it's like men, it's something in your DNA where you have no problem closing the door and moving on. But us as women, sometimes we feel that we want to heal, we want to get things right, we want to correct things or whatever, and then that leads us to, doing the calls, doing the drive-by. Well, I'm going to say a drive-by really isn't necessarily considered being a stalker, but...
It is. I'm sorry, it is.
It is.
It is. I'm sorry. I like to walk out my house and not see you driving down the street and wondering why the hell you're driving down the street.
Yes. But Yonder, you said a drive-by wasn't considered a stalker, so I was like following
up. No, a drive, I want to consider, that's me, I want to consider a drive-by as a stalker, but stalkers come at you from a whole different way, because there's some folks that's going to ride past your house forever. I mean, really. See, most time when people do drive-bys, they never let you see them. A stalker wants to be seen.
Yeah, but that goes back to, like, women being the biggest stalkers. It's because they love hard. I mean, and like I said, they try to fix things, but everything's not repairable. Everything is not, and you have to find that outlet and let it go. Because if that person is not into you, they're not attracted to you, they don't want anything to do with you, it wasn't meant to be. That wasn't for you. You have to move on and find first that love and passion within yourself. Be happy with yourself. One thing that Ms. Viola had hit on earlier was that like the gentleman was saying, that they were happy together, she completed him, and so forth. If you are not complete within yourself, how can someone else help complete you? So that takes some healing within your own self. So until we move on with that,
I agree completely.
It's going to be this issue.
I agree completely. And like you said, well, let's do this. Viola, give me the reasons that you think you've been stalked, and Aries, tell me what stalking tendencies are.
Oh, we already went down to tendencies, but I'll go let Ms. Viola, Mhm.
I mean, what can you do? Let's say, can you put some cut on?
I do with my mates. I love to spoil. I spoil my mates completely.
So you love hard.
I do. I love hard, and I'm a very emotional, sexual person. And when it comes to me and my sex life, I feel there are no rules, especially in the bedroom. And
but that's how it should be if you're in that relationship, in that committed relationship with the person. It should be. Okay.
But I feel that people put limits on things, because I even have girlfriends now that says, "Oh, I'm not doing that. You're such a freak," and I'm just like, "No, it's lovely, it's wonderful."
And if they're saying they're not the one for you either. If they're putting limits on what you're doing in the bedroom, saying that you're a freak, they're not the one. They're not the one that's supposed to be with you either.
No, my current partner, mate, he has no cut cards. He puts no limits. We have done it every and anywhere, and he pleased me just as much as I please him, from getting hit outside the strip club to going to the strip club to being part of the female giving the lap dance.
Okay, now, ain't nothing wrong with that. We have another caller on the line. Caller, do you have anything to add to the topic tonight in regards to stalking? Hello, caller, you're on with Real Talk with Aries. Okay. They didn't want to say anything. We have a lot of people dialing in, but no one wants to speak. Let's see if we can get anyone else. Caller, you're on with Real Talk with Aries. Is there anything you want to add to the conversation tonight? Hey, we got a lot of crackling and a lot of static going on, so I guess we'll just keep it rolling with us. No one wants to chat with us tonight. I see a lot of people listening and dialing in, but
in order to dial in, they need to press 1, correct?
Correct. And the number is 347-838-9038. You're on live, Real Talk with Aries. We have our special guest, Yonder's in the building tonight, and Ms. Viola P. Ms. Viola P. is actually we're gonna have her back to do a class because she says her walk.
I need to meet. I need to meet her, see how this walk is, and all these other skills she got. I mean, we just probably have to Skype. We probably have to have her somewhere, and we just sit there and watch her in motion.
I won't say it's just my walk. I do have other skills that, are very loving, that knows, enjoy. I do have an oil stimulation problem that I have to fulfill daily.
Yonder, does that make her the headologist?
Hold on. Mine just hit the floor. What was that again? I missed that. I think I heard it, but it wasn't very clear. But it sounded good to my ear.
You heard it. You heard it very clearly. She just said she got her master's in headology.
Oh, and she had to use it constantly. Oh.
Yes.
Oh. Well, I guess I guess you would have the title in a dictionary.
But it's just funny, though. I mean, it's not funny. It's kind of sad, but, being that headologist or whatever you want to call it, we're just joking with you here. I'm Viola P. Please don't take none of this personal. But being that...
Take it personally.
Being that and giving that stimulation to a person that's never had it, I can't see personally, but I've been told and heard that some people, they do become addicted to that because you're giving them that feeling they've never ever had before. And this goes back to what you said, Yonder, about, the crying, so
right.
I don't know. We just have to find a way to get over it. I'm not for sure how. Like I said, I'm no therapist. I'm just here. It's just real talk, but people have to move on because people's lives and their livelihood, it's in danger.
And I will say that it's one of those things where I have, before this guy that I'm dealing with, I have put limits on what I would do sexually because I didn't want to end up with another stalker. And I'm like, how are you stalking me sexually? It's more to me than just sex. I have a brain. I have, a personality. It's more to it than just sex, but... I will say that me personally, from going through that experience, I held back on being so sexual with new people after this last breakout with the stalker.
Did you say that you actually put limits on what you were doing? Is that what you're saying?
I did because I was scared of someone getting addicted to my sexual acts.
So what you're saying is you put some cut on it?
Yeah, she put the cut on it.
I love to be on top.
And sometimes you have to do that.
Sometimes you got to put the cut on it?
Sometimes you got to put a cut on it. You can have some good relations, but if you don't put cut on it, you will have stalkers.
Well, that goes one-on-one anyway because, with me, some females may feel different, but I just feel sometimes, and y'all either agree or disagree with me, you can't give everyone everything. So I guess that is true. You have to put cut on it at times. But if it's that committed relationship, you're not saying that you put cut on a committed relationship, are you?
No.
But when you get the stalker tendency, you have to. If you think that, like you said, you have to learn from your past experience. But if you get one if you've done something in this one relationship that you didn't do now, and like if I hadn't done it, and they'll tell you, because usually the sad part about a stalker is they're the most honest people there are, because they telling you they outside your door, and they telling everybody outside the door, they saying that you did something to them, you brought them someplace that they'd never been before. And then
not all stalkers are open. Some of them, not all. I have to disagree. Not all stalkers are open about it. They try to act like they're just trying to be. Well, let me rephrase that. Maybe they're just not open with their friends. Maybe they're trying to be open with you. They're not open with their friends, trying to save face and not look like a stalker.
No, it don't come
Right.
out until the end. Most of the time, the stalker, like, you may not pick up on the tendencies, but a stalker doesn't reveal themselves until you no longer want to deal with them, really. I mean,
Yes.
because you're giving them what they want when they're with you. I mean, the tendencies may be, they may be blowing you up at your job. Hey, baby, I called you just 10 times. You weren't there. Where were you? And some people may overlook that, but those are tendencies of a stalker. Hey, baby, I drove past your house. Your car wasn't there. Where were you at? Those are tendencies of a stalker. I mean, wanting to know the whereabouts. Let's use Facebook. I mean, like I said, that's one of the number one tools. You have those who are constantly, you know, say they're a friend of yours or whatever, but say every comment, whether if it's from a male or female, they constantly comment to let their presence be known. You know, it's always having to be in the know when it comes about you, and, you know, those are signs. Signs are that person has actually lost themselves, and they're becoming literally one with you to become you. So, I mean, the signs are there, but you really don't realize it. Most people don't realize it until, say, that relationship is over, when you no longer want to deal with that person. So, I mean, we just have to keep a watchful eye. You have to keep that eye open and put a little cut on it.
And most time we don't, because once you're in the act of doing it, once you're in the act of doing it, you don't realize that I didn't cut this today, you know.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, when you're completely free, free with a person, you're not thinking about the cut. But sometimes you got to put cut on it until you really know. I mean, I would say sometimes even in the beginning when a person is courting you, you can pick up on whether or not that person is a stalker or not. You really can. With their courting, I mean, most women think, oh, they're treating me they're loving me, they're giving me all this, they're giving me all that, always there, whatever. Sometimes little things that they may do in that courting phase will tell you if they have stalker tendencies or not.
Okay, well, since you have been down this lane before, Aries, tell us what those are.
No, I just went through some, but I know. So you're putting it out there like I'm a real stalker. Please, yes, and everyone listening to Real Talk with Aries, you guys to believe Aries is not a stalker, but I can say I've had conversations before, and mine was more of at the end of the relationship because I wanted to know why, and I wanted that. Mine was more of a closure.
You needed closure.
Yes, mine was more of a closure. Wanted to know, what went wrong, and I blame like a lot of stuff on me, but hey, I had to get over it because it was just that person I may have thought that person was the perfect one for me, but I was not the perfect one for that person. So I had to move on. And that's what people have to do. We have to move on and love yourself. You have to really love and be one with yourself. So.
Well, I mean, my thing is this: how is the difference between moving on and trying to get closure? I mean, I think that's where the line is being touched, because you never know what's the difference.
I would say in order to move on, you need closure. So that's just my perspective on it. In order to move on, you need closure, but sometimes you can't get to that closure, so you just have to move on and put closure to it in your own mind yourself. I mean, you have to close, and whether you're assuming a situation or whatever, if it's over, it's over. You have to find a way to close it and move on. Get it going, because life is too short. We have people dropping dead, 20, 30, 40, 50. These are all young age. Life is too short to be worried about some old stuff, stuff that don't want you. So you have to, whether it's spiritually, whether it's work, whether it's that shoulder to cry on, whether it's a radio talk show, you have to find closure and move on. You got to move on.
And word to the wise, with all the nonsense, with all the new laws being changed to make stalking basically a felony and everything, ladies and gentlemen, let it go. Go and live life. Go and find some more. You'll find something else. You might not find nothing better, but you'll find something else.
And we must remember, I mean, I know everyone is not spiritual, but what we have to remember is, there is a plan set out for us. I'm a firm believer that the plan that sometimes we choose may not be the plan that God chooses for us, but there is a plan, and that person just is not the person at that, maybe even at that time. Maybe it's, more growth is needed, but they're not that person for you. Okay, we're about to wrap it up, guys. We have about 5 minutes to go. Yonder, is there anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
I'd like to plug an event that I'm doing the end of the month, June 23rd and 24th. I'm doing an event in Beltsville. It's actually on my Facebook page. You can go to Facebook. My name on Facebook is Yonder Harrison. You'll see the event there. It's a 2-day event. It costs $25, and it should be a whole lot of fun. It's called Real Sex. Sex in the Summer, that's what it's called, Sex in the Summer. And not only I'll be there doing what we call Taboo Talk Live. My partner Troy will be flying in from L.A. We have some poets, we have plenty of vendors there, and plenty of people that's going to be there, so it should be a real good look. I mean, I hope everybody can come through. Go on my, you can buy my books on whatidoistaboo.com, and stay tuned to the show. We'll be on every Thursday. Sometimes the times will vary. Sometimes we'll have more time. This beginning show, so we're only doing an hour today, but we'll have different times, and we'll keep on emailing you guys, letting you guys know.
All right, and Miss Viola P., I want to thank you for joining us tonight. And what I want to say one more time is, people, you got to love yourself. Listen to the lyrics in this song, We Are One. I mean, we got to stop this stalking stuff. You got to be happy with who you are before you can be happy elsewhere. Having that person is not going to make you happy if you're not happy and whole within yourself. Again, this is Aries, the host. I'm live from the DMV. This is Real Talk with Aries, and I want to thank you for calling in. I want to thank you for listening, and please continue to support us. This show tonight will be uploaded on www.ariesthehost.com for you to listen to, download, and I'm also going to be, it'll be with a podcast as well. So enjoy your evening. I look forward to hearing and talking to you again, chatting to you again, and join us next week. Next week's conversation will be called Computer Love. We're going to talk about if relationships are easier to get into, maintain, and end online. I'm out. Listen to the lyrics of the